I really need everyone to take a minute to appreciate just how brilliant of a scene a Red Ranger in another world who takes essentially a bunch of medieval level personalities and mindsets into freaking outer space, shattering their worldview. One of them even quickly says, wait a second, the rumors and stories, they're right, there is something beyond the clouds? And within a fraction of a second, they have to comprehend what they are witnessing, only for them to immediately be removed from outer space, currently not acknowledge it, because they're in the middle of a life or death battle, and because this Red Ranger is constantly throwing them into batshit insane situations. You really have to consider, we've seen stuff with Isekai where like, oh, you're giving modern ideas, modern inventions, into a world that's very not even close to getting to this point in terms of technology and innovation. Obviously, their minds get blown. But seriously, imagine putting yourself in like a 16th century mindset or something. Someone saying there's stuff beyond the clouds. Probably gonna get you burned at the stake or laughed at minimum. And this man summons a giant robot, which is already enough to baffle them. But hey, magic be magic. They got magic in this world. They can accept that. But within a fraction of a second, they are now in outer space, and they see all these stars. They might see some galaxies. Who knows what they saw in that brief moment? They're like, wait a second. The crazy hobo down the street who says there's stuff beyond... That is without a doubt the most brilliant scene you could do, because it's barely acknowledged. The one girl's literally like, what the One dude's like about to piss himself in just complete disbelief. He lost all control of his bodily functions. And the straight man, Yidra, who basically acts as the straight man of the group's like, what else are you gonna show us? I'm telling you, this show is a lot more brilliant than people are probably giving credit to. And I think, while yes, we do get a lot of silly ideas in this department, you know, characters go into another world. Hell, we had a show about someone who was a vending machine. It's ridiculous. But there's something special here, and they're starting to build into a little more emotional storytelling too with the Red Ranger. This show is simultaneously a serious, like, Power Rangers Sentai level show, and a fantasy show all in one, and because the two clash, it creates the most parody isekai you could expect, while still doing both of those departments all at the same time. Fan-freaking-tastic. Of course, you want to support my work, see my full thoughts on these episodes, we got the Patreon, full live reactions available exclusively over there if you're so interested. So, they did a lot this episode. So, this isn't the first time they've been hinting at, you know, like we had, it was like 2 episodes back, give or take. There's a little flashback with Red, you know. Very clearly, they're building into him being a character. The reason why bonds are so important to him is because he's clearly lost bonds in the past, and, you know, oh no, cry tears. At the end of the day, I doubt I'm going to really be overly invested in that side of the show. I definitely prefer the more silly aspects of it, but I do want to see more in terms of the series with his character, because he takes everything about this seriously. It's just funny because half the times when he's getting like overly emotional about bonds, we're like, bitch, this is the enemy. Who gives a shit that he has bonds up there? Let's just break his nose and move on with our day. But they do show us that, you know, back in the day, they show a clean death blow. He has lost people. He has lost people that were close to him. And it's probably understandable why he's so infatuated with these bonds and, you know, not severing bonds, because once they're gone for good, and, I don't know, the rest is history. The thing about what's really nice is that he's always took this seriously. Even before, like, some of the more emotional stuff they're building into. When he does his pose, and he blows shit up behind him, he's serious about that. Like, that's not a joke to him. Like, he thinks that's cool. He thinks I'm a ranger, that's what I do. Everyone else, though, is like, bitch, you just blew up old Nan's driveway. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Because it's not an exaggeration. He actually is blowing shit up when he does his poses. Or when he summons a giant freaking robot to smash the sky away. Like, it's so great, because at the same time, you then have the seriousness of characters taking this seriously. We got introduced to 2 new characters not too long ago, one of which is a loyal knight who's basically a freaking dog to her, and another kind of like princessy style character who's, you know, trying her best. Her mission is to apparently, with her big silver wolf, anyone who's corrupted, it eats it, and, you know, she clears away the impurities. Yudra's just kind of here for the show at this point, though given the fact that it'll be interesting to see where her story will actually develop now that she's surrounded by everyone that she is. We still need a Green Ranger, of course. There is still that podium that needs to be filled, but time will see where we go with that. Either way, though, the fact that both sides of the story do take itself seriously. You have the fantasy world, which, you know, we have a demon queen. She has all these, like, little minions. Gotta say, the character we fought this episode, after we quickly obliterated the giant Yeti face in the sky, that was probably one of the coolest character designs I've seen this anime season. I love the idea of the floating hands, the almost gesture level design. Like, his weapon is teeth, like a big creepy smile on a scythe, and that scythe can then extend like a whip. I can already imagine what this character would have looked like in live action with a costume, and honestly, it's kind of cool, I ain't gonna lie. Everything about that was really fun. I like the fact that there's like a legitimate, serious, like you have the Demon Queen stuff, like that's a serious threat for the world. They're taking it seriously as most of these fantasy isekai would. Then you have the Ranger stuff, taking it seriously about bonds and all that stuff. And because they clash in the most comedic way, you end up with one of the funniest shows you could ever ask for, while it legitimately does take itself seriously. So it's able to be both a serious isekai and a parody isekai all in one because of those clashing ideals. It's not like the Red Ranger's trying to be a parody. It's not like Yeager or any of them are trying. No, it's because these two are so polar opposite, they naturally become a whiplash. It's brilliant. If they don't make a season 2 for this, I will be so freaking disappointed. Because everything about this is clicking with me perfectly. I like the way the 3D looks. I like the way the character designs. Like, legitimately, this is probably the show with my favorite character designs. Whether it's the final shot when we get teleported into this area. Love all their wardrobes. It's super over the top, but it's fantasy in the exact way I like. The villains we fight, the teasings of what they're doing, and we have been getting more of a taste of what the serious moments will look like, such as characters getting stabbed. And to be honest, yeah, like this is we're only 5 episodes in, and they have done some of the most outlandish, bullshit, ridiculous, dumb shit you could possibly do. Yet I also don't think it's just a stupid show. There is so many blink and you miss it moments, but moments like taking characters who never thought it would be possible to see, because even with magic, they've never flown that high. And this man does it like, yeah, just wait until I tell you about the multiverse. Bring on the next freaking episode. That was fantastic. Thoughts down below, favorite moment, if you got any. Of course, you know mine, that space scene was great. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Shareable Carcass, Brian Mifsud, Waka866, Andy, Anime Fan 2019, and we also have Slayer Droid X, so I appreciate the support everyone. Please take care, and you'll have a good one.